Consuming a lot of like fruits, which basically fruits very high in fructose, can lead to a fatty liver disease. It is because our body cannot utilize fructose. It is because our body only can be utilized either glucose or fat, which triglyceride. And our body prefer fat for energy. It is because high amount of insulin can suppress the autophagy state, very like anti-cancer states. Very cleaning your body is very conducive if you want to avoid like inflammation in your body. And also like fat has every single nutrient you need. Is that it was like essential nutrient, which basically fat has like vitamin A, D3, K2, EPA, DHA. So it's very like our body needs it. But the thing is, fructose. So that's mean what about glucose? Even though our body can utilize glucose, but the thing is, our body doesn't need glucose, especially in high amount. It is because our body can make our own glucose through glucogenesis process, which basically we have a three fatty acids and which like can convert to glycerol. And when we have like after we use the three fatty acids, we have a glycerol, and the glycerol will convert to glucose, which basically glycerol is the main way we our body to get glucose, through the glucogenesis process. But the thing is, and also the glucogenesis process will be like always active no matter what you eat, no matter what you do. So basically while you're like listening to me and you are like watching this video, is literally your glucogenesis process will be like always active, which basically around like 10% of margin rate. It is because our body has been designed to be like have a chronically always active in glucogenesis process, which basically and at any given time your body can get the perfect amount of glucose that your muscle needs. So there's no reason for you to eating like carbohydrates at all. But the thing is, especially in high amount exogenous of carbohydrates, it is because they're very glycating. And also they are not like, and also they can cause like random cycle, especially if you like eating high carbohydrates and high fat at the same time, which basically not optimal for your metabolic state. Our body only prefer to burn one fuel source of energy, which basically fat. So yeah, fructose, our body cannot utilize fructose, which basically fructose must be go straight to the liver to start processing, to broken down to the things that we can use. For example, it's like glucose. But the thing is, through the process, which basically we name it, the novo lipogenesis process, which basically that processing can lead to hepatic fat in your liver, which basically will cause it will build up and it will cause like fatty liver disease, which basically even though you are not consuming any alcohol, but the thing is you will still have a fatty liver disease, which basically non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. It is because fructose can turn into hepatic fat, and also at the same time fructose can turn into visceral fat, which basically in your midsection basically you have a bloated stomach. So basically if your goal is to being lean, and the thing is, if you want to being attractive, it is very crucial for you to being lean, and having a high fructose diet is not very conducive to it. It is because fructose can directly block the leptin hormone, which leptin hormone is a satiety hormone that makes you full, makes you stop eating. And it upregulates the ghrelin hormone, which basically ghrelin hormone is a hormone that makes you hungry. So basically it makes you easily overeat. And the thing is, fructose is a nature fat gainer. It's a nature, even though it's natural, it's a nature, but the thing is it's not optimal for our health though. Because our body can get, because we can now access the beef at any time and anywhere, as long you are like in the country, whatever it is, right? You have a store, you have a farm nearby to you. The problem with that is having a fructose diet, is very toxic. It is because it can raise your uric acids, acetate, and so acetaldehydes, which basically not optimal for our health. And literally, fructose are designed to use seasonally, which basically fructose, our body, and like literally animals, us, including us, which basically bears, great apes. Even there's a rare tropical fish in the Amazon that jump off the water to eat berries to put on fat during the winter. It is because it's a survival mechanism, which basically it can is a survival mechanism. It is because during the winter we are not active. We are very hard to find a food. So basically we use our fat for energy to survive. But the thing is, it's not optimal because fruits are only available around like 8 weeks of the whole year, and they are used seasonally, especially during the summer. So literally, having a fruits for the whole year is not optimal. It is because our body cannot utilize fructose, which basically must be go straight to the liver, goes straight to our liver, and it can cause like fatty liver disease, uric acids, acetaldehyde, and acetate. There's no reason for doing that, and also like it's heavily sprayed on pesticide, even though it's organic. The thing is, the difference of organic and like commercial fruits, it is like the fruits in the store, like normal fruits, they are sprayed with pesticides, synthetic pesticide, which of course really worse for your health. At the same time, even though it's organic, but the thing is, it was like organic pesticide. It's natural, but it's still toxic to our body. But compared to the organic and normal fruits which spray with pesticide, of course organic is the winner. But the thing is, having a fruits in the first place is not optimal or is not required at all. And also fruits is very high in deuterium, which basically the heavy water can stutter the nanometer of your if of our mitochondria, which basically is not sufficient to produce ATP, especially in high amount. So basically, fruits are high in deuterium, fructose, which basically our body cannot utilize it, which basically can lead to fatty liver disease. And also they are used in seasonally, and they can cause like a regular diurnal cycle, which basically is not optimal for metabolic rate. And that's it. There's no reason for eating fruits, even though you can during the summer, but make sure it's not like very high amount. And other than that, make sure you 80% of your diet should be like ruminant animals, flesh and fat. It is because we are adapted to it. Our gene has been exposed for like 4.5 million years ago. So yeah, peace. If your goal is to being attractive, it's literally you have to being healthy first. It is because you want to fix your skin issues, you want to fix your body fat, just all relies on the diet mostly. And it is because if you have a lot of problems, for example, is you want to try to eat carnivore diet, but the thing is your parents like against you. They say cholesterol is really bad, they say that saturated is really bad, even though there's a new study that shows that it's really crucial and it's essential and there's no problem in high amount. So all the problems I will solve there, and all my nutrition guide I will support you. Link the description below where I have a guide that teach you all the knowledge you need and also solve all the problems which basically that hinder your goals to achieve the to being optimally healthy in the diet. So link in the description below.